Hi there, Grape Chat here with another game of Mechabellum. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm kind of hoping that in this game, either by playing it or playing against it, I'll get to feature the new unit. Because I have a lot of commentary on the new unit and how I think it performs. One of the things that I'll say right off the bat is I think the aerial specialization has gotten a lot stronger due to the addition of this new unit and the fact that the new unit is actually quite strong. Let me just make sure that they haven't patched this yet. Yep, no, okay. Because I'd expect there'll be a balancing patch pretty early on. Okay, we're against Missile Specialist. It's a little awkward, this start, because I guess I could just go a Phoenix. The problem, okay, so there's a couple things going on here. One is it's really awkward to go a Phoenix against Missile Specialist, and it's also awkward to go more crawlers against Arclight. So what I could do is I can grow Marksman, but Marksmen are generally not very strong when you're playing Missile Specialist. Or I could go Void Eye. Void Eye has been buffed, but Void Eye is not as strong into Arclight as Marksman is. So I think the answer is I am gonna go Vortex. I don't particularly like the idea of going Vortex on aerial specialization, but it does just actually seem like the best unit against our opponent in this situation. And we can use our aerial spec more as a way to use anti-air instead of a way to establish an air presence ourselves. Because the Vortex was looking really strong against our opponent's start. And we can see he actually chose not to go crawlers. As though he kind of expected us to go a oh, shield airdrop. Nice. Wow, that's just phenomenal. I was going to buy a shield either way this turn. So this shield airdrop is actually phenomenal. It seems like he expected us to go Phoenix, which I would have if he didn't have Missile Specialist, but because he has Missile Strike, if I go Phoenix, it has to get a level up this turn. Otherwise, I'm going to have to click one of its techs, probably Jump Drive, in order to be dodging every turn, which just did not sound very, very good. Yeah, let's continue to establish our Vortex presence. It's looking quite strong. And then place a defense on this tower. I actually don't really need a Fire Badger. He has no chaff yet. Let's actually hold on the Fire Badger. Let's go another Vortex, a Crawler, and then pick up a damage attack. And then we can give him a Crawler to Missile. We want the Crawler as far back as possible because we don't want to be pulling these units towards our tower. I see. This is actually quite smart. So he realizes that we're going to get this shield. So in order to get a missile through, he places a crawler to pull back some of our army. And it does look like he's pretty committed to Arclight carry. Hopefully we get a debuff here. The way our units pulled around was pretty tough. Okay, we did get the debuff, and that's going to allow us to keep our shield, which is going to be pretty important here. And we got a bunch of level ups on our carry, so that's nice. Orbital's pretty strong. Electro Wasp Swarm is something we have to watch out for. Yeah, let's Orbital. You know what? Maybe even a little bit more this side. Take this here. We could maybe go a Mustang back here, but no, that's a little too vulnerable. So, what do we want to deal with the Wasp Swarm on this side with? I guess we can deal with it like this. Because this is getting pulled to the right, it'll be protected by our shield. And then do I want a Fire Badger? The fact that this is pulling exactly one Fire Badger is actually pretty reasonable for us. So I honestly think I might just do this. Okay, yeah, we catch the Wasp pretty good here. These are going to get, hopefully the backline of these stays behind our shield so that it will be able to kill the Wasps easily. And he goes into Stormcallers, which is good, but we're going to be able to catch them with our Orbital this turn. So we feel pretty good about that. And then we'll want to be getting range on our leveled Vortexes pretty soon here. We've gotten really nice debuff timings in these second fights. So I'm pretty happy with how that's gone. And then I think it is time to pick up an aerial unit. 2 Phoenixes. Yeah. We could go Shield Phoenix. He's got quite a few marksmen, so that seems okay. Also Shield Wasp is seeming okay. Let's do Shield Wasp. I mean, I know that we're losing 50 by taking it this way. In fact, actually, I'm not going to take it this way. I'm going to take this and sell it. And I'm going to pick up Wasps like so. And then let's just put a Vortex over here as like a tank. Take our range tech. I'm going to move this to here so that it's less easy to missile both of these. Because even though I'm going to shield it, I don't want him to be able to missile both the Crawler and the Wasp super easily. Kind of the same idea over here. Let's actually back this up. And I guess we'll just take our attack enhancer. As our opponent picks up the Wasp, he places another Crawler. Now that he has 3 Crawlers, we might want to put down another Fire Badger. And we kind of catch the Sledgehammers with these Wasps. It does look like our shield is going to go down. This turn kind of hurts a little bit, but I don't think it's that bad. We might have to rebuy that shield. I have to see what's our cooldown. Does it come back this turn? Oh, it does come back this turn. Okay, that's quite nice. So Raiden's looking really strong still, although he does have some levels in his marksman. So want to be a little careful going Raiden. Yeah, we probably need another Fire Badger. I want a Crawler over here. A Fire Badger for this Crawler. Maybe like here. Pop this out a little bit. Move our shield. Well, I I don't want him to be able to missile this. So I guess like here. And let's put down one more of our carry. And then is it Electro Twin time? I don't think we necessarily need Fire Badger range at this point, so I think I am just going to pick up the Electromagnetic Twin. I might even level this Fang, just knowing this Wasp Swarm is coming back. That seems pretty reasonable. Okay, now our opponent goes into Raiden. So I think that maybe we'll use Wasps to counter the Raidens. Just like Anti-Air Wasp is looking pretty strong. And I think that this was... Yeah, I think that he hand unlocked this, meaning that he's like committed. He's put into resources into this. And Wasp is looking really strong for us now. So let's start moving into Wasp. Or just Farseer. Anti-Air Farseer could be pretty good into these Raidens. Wasp is also good against Wasp. It's also good. Does he run? He doesn't run Anti-Air Arclight, so Wasp isn't like vulnerable in that sense. Well, let's take the Farseer, because we're either keeping it or selling it. We do have levels on our Wasps. I think we should do this with Wasp. So, let's take our levels, buy these, and then buy more Wasps. And then we'll need to shield our Wasps eventually, too. In fact, let's not take range. Let's take shield first, and then take range on a future turn. We are going to have to rebuy this shield, unfortunately. Not a whole lot we can do about that. Well, let's put this here. He doesn't tech the Raidens yet, so he could still get out of these. But he can't really get out of them because he's taken both a card and unlocked them. And then he'd also have to get out of his Wasp, so it would be really hard for our opponent to get out of these Raidens. He does take a round victory, but we picked up a lot of techs this turn and don't have enough units to go with our techs yet, so it's not particularly surprising that he's able to get a turn victory. Yeah, this smoke bomb could be pretty powerful. Move this up a little bit. I kind of expected him to save a missile and go for a Wasp play. But given that we've kept our Wasps and gone more into them, he's obviously not going to be doing that now. I think I'm going to level my weak side tower this turn. As opposed to like taking enhanced range. Seems pretty reasonable. And he goes into Anti-Air Fortress, which is a very strong answer to Wasp, even when we have the shield. So we will want to respect that, for sure. We can react to it by going back into Vortex, which sounds pretty reasonable to me. And we know that these wasps will be able to take out his aerial units before they go down due to being triple attack. And so if he's going to go more into fortress, we can beat the fortress by going into grid integration and having enough damage to take them down that way before they get to kill all of our wasps. And we did hit the smoke, which is going to be pretty powerful. Yeah, so kind of the hope is that we're able to just outvalue our opponent this range on account of the fact that they've had to unlock 2 giant units by hand, which is extremely expensive. Oh, this triple Mustang is pretty annoying. That's good against everything we're doing. We could do... No, I don't run EMP on this currently. So I think we're going to take the Void Eyes and sell them. They want to move this up to here. Alright, let's pick up our grid integration. And buy 3 more of these. And I have this orbital bombardment, and I also have another shield airdrop. But part of me wants to save these for a turn. And go for a win next turn. After seeing like how my opponent reacts. I mean, I kind of assume he's going to go into more fortress here. Although, you know what? I should actually probably go for a win here while this smoke is still down. So, put a second shield here. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. Okay, he goes into Shield Fortress, which our grid integration, if we continue to deploy it, will become quite strong against that. Just because it's so much damage that you see, like, we melt these shields very quickly. I don't think we're gonna get the win this turn, but we will, like, you know, take the round victory. And put them at a really low life total. I'm not actually sure yet if these clones deal damage to the player. Improved combat power system is probably pretty good. We can put this on our level 4 Wasp. Yeah, that sounds pretty strong. And the fact that we kept our shields this turn is quite good. Put shield here. Pick up our range. Pick up our HP. And then I 100% want to oil this turn. I might need to pull this forward a bit. Yeah, like here. And then pick up the range on our fire badgers to hopefully ignite that oil. Yeah, this seems pretty powerful. Yeah, this missile is really reasonable. It's gonna remove these shields and then make these fortresses kill them. And then he goes more into Raiden because he feels like he has enough fortresses now to deal with our anti-air. Wait a second. The energy shield didn't block the missile. I am gonna have to go back into the replay and see what happened there. That was really weird. This is looking extremely close. We were able to kill all of his fortresses really fast, so I doubt that the Raidens will be able to deal with these wasps. But I think once again we're going to be shy of having lethal damage here. So what we can do is we can go more wasps like really far in the back. This turn he has no missile. I have absolutely no idea what happened there with the missile. Oh my goodness, this orbital javelin is so crazy. So he's going to have to make a guess where we're going to orbital. And if he guesses wrong, it's going to be bad for him. And we're going to have to also do some stuff to deal with this orbital. This is going to be a high impact orbital. I think the answer is we're going to grab all of this and pull it back. And then, like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Okay, so I think the answer is we're going to orbital here. And the reason is that these units are outside of the orbital range, so it will be less expected. Something like this. As I think that he'll expect me to orbital here. I want to level up here. I want to take these levels. And then I actually think I want a few more, like, late wasps. And then extend my grid a little bit. Alright, let's see if this orbital fucks us. Alright, no, I think we dodged it pretty well. Oh, I see, the clones still get hit, so that part's pretty bad. And I pulled them back a little further than I needed to. It looks like we did kill his fortress and his sniper and deal some damage. Yeah, the orbital hurts a little bit, but it seems like we've still got it. Yeah, we do still have it. GG. Our opponent played this game quite well. I was pretty impressed with him. I'm going to go back and take a look at what happened in the missile turn. And then I'm going to talk really briefly about the new unit and my thoughts on it. So, let's go into our replayer. I think it was like turn 7, perhaps. I think it was turn 8, actually. Yeah, this turn. Okay. Let's put on quick deploy. Does he change this missile? Or am I on the wrong turn? Okay, it must be turn 9 then. I see, he double missiles this turn. I didn't even notice that he took the second missile. Okay, this is the missile in question. So let's see what happens here. So the damage can't carry over because it has to block at least one instance of damage. That's the part that I'm like, how did these die? Let's take a peek at what goes down. Okay, missile comes down. Okay. So it's just a bug? I mean, it just killed them. I don't know what I could be missing about that. It seems like the part of the code that forces it to block at least one instance of damage just didn't work. So Um, huh. Seems like I can't write in this feedback form. I'm sure it's just some stuff that's getting worked on for the new patch, so I won't delve into it too much, but it seems like we had a closer game due to there being a bug there. Okay, my first thought on the new unit, I think it's currently really broken, and you should probably play it a lot. This game was a great example of like when you want to go it. It's really good against starting packs with units like Arclight, Sledgehammer, Void Eye, these kind of like mid HP units. It's gonna be good against units with like between 1,000 and 5,000 health. So if you see health between 1,000 and 5,000, where this attack damage amount is going to be really efficient, think, oh, Vortex is going to be good here. And it also scales really well into beating fortresses and melting points and like scorpions sometimes. It really depends with scorpions, because the scorpions can sometimes mess them up. But like these kind of units that end up being really heavy tanks in the late game, when you get to pick up this combo with the electromagnetic twin and the grid integration. These are not my texts. These are my texts. Quick review on the text. Accumulator shield is like totally unplayable. You just like, the game ends around the 14th attack a Vortex makes. So there's almost no scenario, unless you're like maybe playing 2v2, where this tech actually does anything at all. This just doesn't have very strong stats. I think this tech's really good, but 400 is a bit pricey to be taking this very reasonably. I think it's okay to have this on your bar. And this tech actually seems pretty good. Not when you're doing like this whole triple tech thing, but when you just want to use Vortexes as an early unit to win against the mid-size unit and don't want to turn it into a carry. I think just picking up this tech to make it like tank a little longer and have a little bit more utility can be good. And so that's why I'm playing this on the bar. In terms of like when you're playing against Vortexes, how do you beat it? There's a couple carries that I think are really insane against it, right? The first is Vulcan. While Vulcan is attacking, you just go the OG range plus Scorching Fire. It will just randomly kill the clones because the clones will enter the like high splash effect of the Vulcan right at splash 15. And usually the Vortex's clone is going to be within 15 of it. And so while the Vulcan is attacking, it'll just randomly be killing those. So despite the fact that Vortex's grid integration is really strong against Vulcan, I actually think Vulcan is a extreme hard counter. Okay, the second is Abyss. I don't suggest using Abyss because this unit is really underpowered right now. But if Abyss ever gets buffed, I think it would be the best counter. Raiden's okay. Overlord is amazing. Overlord can really crush the Vortexes. And the other cheeky counter is Fang Carry with Grenade Launcher plus Portable Shield. Portable Shield is really fantastic against Vortex, especially if your opponent isn't running Electromagnetic Cloud. If you do start running into Electromagnetic Cloud, or people are using this to answer Shield Fang with Grenade Launcher, then you might want to start considering not using Fang. But while people are not using that, I think Fang is a fantastic answer. It can also sometimes catch the clones in its splash damage. And one other like special mention is Lightning Storm eviscerates Vortex for two reasons, right? One, Lightning Storm usually pops shields and then continues to deal damage. It kills every clone every time. It's absolutely a massacre. And then the second reason is that the Vortex's board tend to be pretty clumped together to make sure they can make use of their chain if they decide to use it, the grid integration. And for that reason, Lightning Storm just is absolutely brutal against Vortex. The same is like kind of true for other spells, but Lightning Storm is better at popping shields than any of the other spells are, and it's more consistent at killing um, all of the clones, all of the electromagnetic twins that are created. So, yeah, if you're playing against Vortex Carry and you see Lightning Storm, think, oh, I just won this turn. How lucky. And yeah, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.